Alright, continuing with my game of Empire of the Sun. We are mid-card play, game turn 3. And the Allies have just played their card. I'll give you a little rundown of the state of the game because it has been a while on this one. But this is the Japanese play. We're checking out a card here as an option. Oh, the Japanese are one hex away from a capitulation of Borneo. Allies have just played a card, had no combats, but used strategic movement from port to port to ship the weak units out and the strong units in. So we got some pretty nice units on in here. Beef it up because there's a last battle. Now the Japanese, I don't think have the resources or the manpower to take it over now. That's the only bad thing about this game for a Japanese player. I mean, you can, you get a chance to grab a little spot, and if you don't, they beef it up. It's hard to get the resources, especially for the Japanese. That's what we're doing now. The Allies played a card that was just prerequisite was that it was all Commonwealth units that can move. So we can show you what happens. We got a headquarters in there, what makes it even harder for the Japanese because there's a good support units, ground units in there with any headquarters. They get Allied player gets a positive or a negative modifier for the Japanese on a die roll, and so on and so forth. But there's prerequisites too about the being able to put units in there. You have to be outside of a unneutralized zone of influence for a Japanese player. You can see he's got his bombers here. We got this place all covered with our aircraft, so we neutralize all that. The card I'm looking at now is one where it's this card here. Anybody knows the game knows about how you could place a Japanese unit and withdraw one of these weaker Dutch units. But that's the state of it right now. Like I said, mostly just beefing up this little spot here. Let me see if we can find out what spot this is. Oh, there you go. Oh, ball link Papan. Or whatever it's called. I'll probably put you back out of it. I'm horrible on these pronunciations. But that is it. Yep, we're sitting down here enjoying us a game. It's still early in this game. It'd be nice to get a couple moves in, and I got some time. And it just depends. All depends on you can almost never have time, to have a little bit of leisure. But sometimes you just got to put everything aside and say the heck with it. We will be back. I got some vlogs on Central America I want to get sent off, but I was just going to sit down here and make a couple moves, trying to see what goes on with this East Force conquest of the Celebs. Where the heck are the Celebs? Oh, I know what they're talking about. Oh, here you go, right here. Alright, so we'll see what we can do about that. Doesn't necessarily have to be in this spot. Usually I think I use this spot because I don't know if I got an air unit that can take care of this. Maybe I do. What are the criteria of this card? That is the state of it. Oh, give it a little look here. We got going on. Japanese had a little feint up here, but I think it's petered out. They got a lot of strong units there. It's a matter of card play too, what kind of cards you can use. We got to gather some forces as a Japanese and try to get some more land units in here. And I do have a nice little future offensive card that's made just for this offensive, but you got to play it when you can. You can't waste it. We'll be back having some good fun on some rare springtime gaming. We're back. Alright, for this card here, we'll use it for its event. So we have to activate either South or South Seas headquarters. South Seas headquarters, no. South headquarters, yes. Alright, our logistics value is 5. Plus 1 equals 6. Ooh, I've only used 5, so I get 1 left over. Alright, so activations would be 6. I'll show you who I'm activating so far. With my 6 activations, I will have 1, 2. Turn sideways are the ones being activated. 3, 4, 5, and now I get to activate 1 more because I shorted myself 1. So we got 1 activation remaining out of the 6. And there's also a little paratrooper bonus we get in here, but we'll take care of that after we activate our units. Let me see which other unit I want to activate. We'll be right back. Oh, another important thing is allies out of amphibious shipping points. They don't have much early in the game. This is only turn 3. Japanese, though, have used 4 of their 7, so they have some amphibious shipping points yet to use. What we're thinking about doing is landing some troops. We can't go ahead and take this headquarters yet, but we're going to try to land some troops in this unopposed spot right here. There you go. Work out the details, logistics, and rule criteria. When we come back, got one more unit to activate. Right back. Alright, my last activation, I'm going to activate me a big old army here. And he was part of this force going on this area down here, New Guinea, to conquer it, but we're gonna go ahead and use him. Now there is no port here, but I'm pretty sure we can use amphibious assault. We could get him to this hex here. He won't have any shipping going with him, but I think he can go unopposed as long as he lands on a hex that's not going to be a battle hex. No battle hex here, that's key. So that'll be it. That'll be my 6 units. I'll have to add up these amphibious shipping points for these big suckers. I know he's 2 right there, but these other ones that are activated, well, there's another 2 here, so there's 4 amphibious shipping points. And we'll see if this is maybe, well, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 maybe. Ooh, I don't have that many. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Oh, wait, no, wrong one. 1, 2, 3. Oops. Yep. That might be a big order. I'll have to redo this. We'll be right back. Alright, so we'll have to X him out. He can't be moved. We only have let me see, 3 amphibious shipping points left. He'll take up 2, and this little boy up here will take up 1. Only 1 per step, so that'll take care of my 3. These units here that I've activated are not going to be moved amphibiously. They're going to move by ground. So that'll take care of that. So there's my 3 amphibious shipping points. 1, 2, and 3. Like I said, they're going to amphibiously assault right here. But we will move my marker. 1, 2, 3. No more amphibious assaults or movement using amphibious shipping points for either player. We're maxed out already. We still got plenty of cards left. Oh, shortage of amphibious shipping points. Let me see. I make sure I got everybody activated. I see right now I got 1, 2. There's a naval unit could move with them. 3, 4, 5. I still need my 6th. We'll be right back. Alright, I'll activate a unit up here in the Home Islands. And he won't use an amphibious shipping point. He'll be moving from port to port. And I'll show you what port he's going to move to. He'll move from that one probably over to this one right here. Or, I don't know if that's even a port over here. Yeah, I think you'll have to go move him here. But anyway, port to port, no amphibious shipping move, but that'll be my 6th activation. If there's no battle, no reaction by the allies. We will carry on here and be right back. Alright, before we start with movements, we got this little event, paratroopers. Prior to movement, place a Japanese control marker in a hex that is within extended range of an active Japanese air unit. Its first prerequisite is number 1. The hex is either unoccupied or occupied solely by a Dutch regiment. And 2, the hex is not within an unneutralized Allied zone of influence. Eliminate the Dutch regiment. My favorite spot on here is with this card, through a couple games that I've played, is right here. It's a nice little hex. It's a resource hex and a capitulation hex. It's within, I have an air unit here that has well within 4 hexes. 1, 2, 3, 4. Outside of an Allied zone of influence. The closest Allied air unit is right here. And this hex here, I believe. Or it might be a hex. No, this hex here. But his zone of influence only goes out 2 hexes. 1, 2. That's outside. So what we will do then is eliminate this Dutch unit and put us a nice little control marker, giving us some more Japanese resources. On top there means we have the control of the resource. You can see all my resource hexes that Japanese have. So there you go. Oh, moving slow unit on over here. Make it official. Yeah, we had a successful paradrop into that hex, eliminating the Dutch unit. We'll put him back on the order of battle board for the Allied player. Alright, when we come back, I'll move my units and carry on with the Japanese offensive card play. Alright, who do we move first? Let's move the old boys right here. They're activated 2 units. We're going to move him amphibious assault into this hex here. So we'll keep him right there. This unit here, well, let's go ahead and do it like this. Alright. No reaction because there is no battle hex. There's a special reaction move. What we got here? Special reaction, but that's only if they take a port or something like that. Oh, go back here. Let me find out here real quick. I'm going to have to put you on hold while I find it. Special reaction. If the opposing ground unit ends its offensive move in an unoccupied reaction player controlled key here, city, resource, hex, port, or airfield that is within range of the reaction player's headquarters, reaction player, aircraft zone of influence, blah, blah, blah. Whether neutralized or not, the reaction player may attempt a special reaction. But here's the key. Ends its offensive move in an unoccupied reaction player controlled city, resource, hex, port, or airfield. Right here is the hex we're going into. And that doesn't qualify for any of them, so there will be no special reaction or anything like that. Now that's the same thing that the Allied player used up here, because we got a nice little unit there. If I would have went for the port, he could have reacted. And another key thing is, if you do move into there just by ground units, there can be no special reaction. It's just there's all kinds of idiosyncrasies in these rules, but I think we got it down pat. That'll be my first 2 units of my 6 that move. Next one will be this unit here. He will move amphibious assault also, with no escort, but he will move here also. And I don't need no escort because there's no battle hex or anything like that, so we go ahead and move on in there. That's 3 of my 6. The other 2, ooh, what did I see? Oh, I want to move him from here, 1 port, to another port. I'm pretty sure this here is the only one that qualifies, so we'll put him here. I'll check this all out here in a second, but he'll move from there to there. And my last 2 units are going to use ground movement, but they'll only be able to move 1 hex because it eats up a bunch, this little territory here. I think we'll move them right there. Oh, so there's the crux of it. Oh, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We'll check this out to make sure this is good and this is good, but I'm pretty sure all these are legal moves. That is it for the it for our card play. The East Force Conquest of the Slevs. There won't be no battle hexes this turn. Move on to the Allied card play. Just thought I'd give you a little drop in. And that is it. They're getting ready for the big battle here. That'll be interesting. We'll be back.